Hey everybody, this is Pastor Bob, and this is Life with Luke number 55. A few years ago, there was a forest worker working deep in the thick woods of rural Maine, and he came across this old collapsed tent under a tree. And there were some other supplies. There was a backpack and some boots and some things like that. And inside the collapsed tent, there was an old sleeping bag. And inside the sleeping bag was the remains of a human body. And he reported it, and right away they knew who it was, because several years earlier, a woman who had been through hiking the Appalachian Trail had become lost. And sure enough, it was her. The ironic thing is that she was only a few yards, not within hollering distance from the trail itself. She had gone off the trail to go to the bathroom and had gotten turned around. And even though she was so close to the trail and going the other way, she was close to a railroad track, she became lost and she gave up and she perished. And I tell that story because we're in the middle of Luke chapter 15, where Jesus tells three masterful stories about a coin, about a sheep, and about sons who become lost. And we all can become lost, and there's more than one way to be lost. And we just started digging into the chapter this week. Next week, we're going to look at it even more deeply. But the third parable Jesus tells is about two sons. It's a famous story. We often call it the parable of the prodigal son. We'll get to that. But there's a younger son and an older son, and on the surface, they couldn't be more different. And the younger son is kind of this freewheeling, wild-living, reckless party man who just goes and blows the money, and the other one is the responsible, rule follower who stays home. They are different temperament. They are just seem to be as different as can be. But the thing that they have in common is that they both see their father as the source of the life that they want. They see him as the one who can give them what they want out of life. And they're both lost. One just happens to be lost in a faraway land. The other one is lost right close to home, right close to the trail. So what does it mean to be lost? It means to be out of relationship with God. It means to be out of relationship with our Father. And all of our lostness that we experience in our life has ultimately something to do with something that we believe about who God is. Is God just the source who owes us something or needs to pay us back for something that we've done? Or is something else completely other going on there? So stay with us, and we're going to be digging into this next week. But for this week, I hope that you hear this encouraging word, that even though we can become terribly lost, we have a Father who is committed to finding us. So read Luke chapter 15 this week. Let those words just sink into you, reflect on it, and invite God to speak His truth into your life. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great week.